dream big and sometimes big. Gotta dream
I
big.
love everyone. Listen to the Black Link Experience. I'm your host, Marva B, and we are with Demetrius J. We so excited. We are so excited for this interview this evening. You guys, hello, wherever you are. Good morning, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Marva. Thank you.
We thank you for your presence, and we can't wait to hear what you're doing surrounding the children. So Demetrius, tell us all about what you got going.
Thank you, Marva. Well, I'm Demetrius Gibson Johnson, the author and creator of Hey Meechie, You're the Greatest. It started out with a book. So I wanted to create an integrated series that were both collaborative with book and music that celebrated and promoted positive images in urban children. If you take the time to turn on the television, open comic books, look through magazines, we don't see our children like we need to. And we know that if we don't see our children like we're supposed to, they don't see themselves. And I am aware of how powerful imagery is in the lives of people, not just in people of color, people of all nationalities. So when we talk about positive imagery, and when we talk about imagery, period, we can both attest to people in our lives who have poured into us, that in our communities, that were important figures who look like us. People you saw on television who were people of color and Black people. We tend to use the word people of color these days, but I want to go ahead and say Black people. So when I see people who are doing great, Muhammad Ali, it was for me. Right. Muhammad Ali was everything for me. Muhammad Ali loved himself. Muhammad Ali loved his people. Muhammad Ali loved his community.
That's a fact.
So with all of that, I wanted to create a brand where children were able to see positive imagery through literacy, through music, through character development. And that came from them, rather it always come from an outside source into them. So we know how to act. Our mothers and grandmothers and our villages and our community taught us, and they teach us what we're supposed to do. And so we then can in return take those qualities and principles and then give them to the world. So it's through this brand and through the book, Hey Meechie, You're the Greatest, and Kids Urban Grooves, which is the music line that goes with the brand, that they receive and give these messages to the world. So these children who are Kids Urban Grooves, who call themselves the great ones, simply bring the message of greatness to life and bring the book to life when they hit the stage. Wow. So they're as performers.
So who's producing the music? Like, are you creating and producing everything?
Yes, ma'am. I am writing and composing and arranging this first project currently. And I work with various artists and various producers that I bring in to work with to be able to complete great pieces and great works. Yeah. So the music is slamming. It's not no joke. These kids love what they do, and the music is hitting. So with that combination is a winner, you know?
Yeah. So how do you create the characters? Where are you at when you're creating characters? Like, where's your mindset? I know around the kids, but what are they doing?
For me,
where's your focus?
The characters for me are based again on imagery and what we see. So when I was working with my illustrator, I would convey that message to him. This is what I imagine. That's imagery. This is what I see. And so with that, then he takes that and has the opportunity to do some things, to do some work, then come back to me. We take a look at it. We get a feel for it. I worry him to death about little bitty things and, tweaks and twerks and turning things and this instead of that color instead of this. I'm very particular, very involved when it comes to all of that. But out of that, you get these images that you'll see in the book that are just astonishing pieces of work. Each character, each page in the book is just astonishing and captures the eye of not only adults, but the children most of all, but not only the children, but adults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. What is your focal point? I mean, what is your demographics? How are you getting this word out other than like this interview now? How are you promoting and letting people know about it? Because it's my first time hearing about it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, one of the things that since it was in 2017 when we launched, and I launched went ahead and released the book. And from then, I've been going into urban schools in urban communities and sharing the message of greatness and great character development in classrooms and schools. So with that, the children bite onto the message, but they latch on to the music.
Yes.
They bite the message, but they latch on to the music. And the next thing you know, they want to know, where can I get this music? When will this music be out? Where can I find you on YouTube? Where can I find you on social media? And so with that, we've just been growing ever since. And so we had each year, the children are on what's called a little mini tour. And so the year before COVID hit, that summer, the kids had did 30 shows. They had performed at 30, they had done 30 shows. Oh. And I was actually talking to a promoter at the time about a tour for the children the next summer, which would have been the year of COVID. And so some things kind of switched up and we prepared for that. And then came the opportunity, since we could not take the show on the road like we wanted to, then I was challenged then by various arts departments and components to create visuals for online, which then challenged me to come out of my comfort zone and then become a producer for television. Wow. So I started creating episodes. So now we have two pilots that I've created for the children's show. Wow. So still working on those, and the possibility of what can be is endless. So we're talking about music shows, music specials, a variety show for the children, for them to be able to be who they are in their culture through their music, then move on into possibly a stage musical. Yeah. And then who knows, a full animated movie. You're right. You know?
Hank, I want you to stick to it because yes, you're right. The possibilities. And when we talk about the children and helping the children understand just how great they are, some children struggle with that, you know, and so we want them to know that they are great and they can do great things. And I think that this boosts their confidence, you know, giving them opportunities. So let me help me understand. So you actually have warm bodies, children, actual kids that are performing what you put together and you create.
They bring it to life.
So the kids are bringing it to life on stage.
They bring the message of greatness to life. Yes, ma'am.
And so the message is greatness, the great one.
The message is greatness, that I am created for greatness, that there is nothing in this world that I cannot do, and the possibilities are endless.
Oh my gosh, what a strong message for the children. And so, like I said, people will get behind something like this and really push it when they know about it. So you should think about, you know, more outlets and getting out there. Of course, with Black Link Magazine and the interview and being out here like that, then people will start to see that. So tell me, so when do you like from the present today to a year to date, what is your plan to get to the next level?
Vision. So we're going to talk the vision of what we're working on currently. We are working on, and when I say we, I say myself, and I have a few people who, you know, I kind of converse about some things, but I am basically working this full project. I'm the author, the creator, the producer, all of those things. So currently I'm a one-man show, and I can't wait to put this you hear me get that? You can attest to it, right? So I can't wait to put yes. Yeah, I cannot wait to put the team of Imagineers and Dreamers on and in place to where these things can actually, they can be a part of what see this vision and then be able to take it to the next level. But I'm looking for that to be where we've created a season of shows, a season of shows to where we can actually launch them ourselves on I know for sure on our own site, but also the possibility of a network. So I imagine what that would be like, and who knows, possibly our own network. Wow. Possibilities are in,
I'm just gonna put this out here. Stay in touch with Black Link Magazine.
Yes, I will, most definitely.
So when you start getting it prepared for a network, stay in touch with Black Link Magazine.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Because at the end of the day, we're here to help each other. And so someone helped me, and we have to pay that forward. And somehow, some way, maybe there's something in the works. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
All right, gotcha.
So anyway.
Well, I'm doing what I know to do, and that is to be creative.
Yes.
And to bring our children polished in performance like they are.
That's awesome. So how do you pick your children to do that? Like, what is your process to get children?
The children who are the core group of performers, they started out in a workshop, and they auditioned in 2018, 2018, they auditioned in a workshop. And since then they are that core group. And so what's happening now is, as they're growing up and they have these messages embedded in them, it's very, very interesting, because now we're working on these episodes for the show and everything, right, they now get to be a part of what the new batch of children. So I call that multi-generational learning and multi-generational teaching, because that's what a village looks like. So then we give back. And so they emulate, the younger kids see these children boastfully and proudly being great, and then they want to great. They want to be great. They want to be like these children, walk. Then create the show and bring messages from the community and find great programs for other kids and host great events for the kids. And, so just creating that whole diaspora around creativity, fun, and things for the community. And not only the community, but the world, showing the world how to live in greatness. So these kids that are selected then are in the workshops are then able to be a part of the special programs like music videos that are going to be created. So when we need an overflow of children, that gives them their opportunity to be able to come and be seen and say, hey, I can do that. What can I do to be a part of that? And then who knows, they may be selected to be a part of the next group that gets to, the focus group who gets to bring, the message across.
So do you conduct the workshop, or you have somebody helping you to do that?
I teach the workshops.
You teach the workshops, okay.
Yes.
And how long are the workshops?
The workshops can vary. We've had workshops that have been 2 to 3 hours. Then we've had workshops that have been all day, like 6 hours. Break them up, have lunch, break them into different groups to learn their, and then send them out with, something to eat. And that experience that they'll never forget.
So Demetrius, how can someone get a hold of you on your social media sites, or how do they, get in touch to know more about what you have going on?
On our platform for social media, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Meechie's Music World. On both of those platforms. On Twitter, we're at Meechie's World. My email is dstarr @gmail.com.
When you say Meechie, spell it. How are you spelling it?
MEEMEECHIE.
Okay.
Music, MUSIC world, Meechie's music world.
Got it. Awesome. All right. So before we get out of here, tell us, what would you say to a child that wants to be a part of what you're doing, have a lack of confidence, don't really, don't think highly of themselves? What advice or what are you giving them to turn that around?
If I had the opportunity to speak with that child, I would definitely tell them that they are created for greatness, that they are remnants and a piece of the master, which makes them a masterpiece.
Oh, wow.
And one day they'll realize that. It'll take some time, but we've got some work to do to get to it. And if we can go through it, we can get to it. And so with all the different experiences, if you want to improve the life of a child, you improve the experiences, and you offer the child great opportunities to be who they say they are.
I agree.
See, and sometimes we write off our children and we say all this, the violence and the things that are going on in our community, but see, the recipe hasn't changed. And so we have to stop and ask ourselves, what are we doing? What are we investing? What are we giving our children? And the answer is no deposit, no return. So we have to start to create things and be intentional with our children and to remind them of who they are daily and how that is connected with the behaviors that they display, not only at home, in school, and in their community. Although all those things play a huge part in their lives. So that message would be that you are created for greatness and that there's nothing in this world that you cannot do. So that ties in with our message that we'll be launching in September, 1 Million Great Ones, where we will actively be seeking to build our platform, seeking 1 million great ones. We'll be selling our Great One t-shirts to be a part of that campaign. And that's it. We're just looking for people who believe that they're created for greatness and knows that the sky is the limit and that there's nothing that in this world that they cannot do. And let's go do this world. Let's go change this world.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And they need people behind them that is genuine, that genuinely has their best interests at heart. So kudos to what you're doing. You guys, go out and support our brother. We have to support one another to help each other level up some kind of way. And so we must do that. So Facebook, Instagram, Meechie Music World, Meechie's or Meechie?
With an S.
With an S. Meechie's Music World on Facebook, Instagram. And then, of course, you can email him at dstar, and that's 2 R's, dstarr@gmail.com. So you guys,
if you're interested in bringing a workshop to a school that needs it, or connecting us with a principal who's interested in having myself to come to classrooms and be able to do residencies or workshops with the class, I'm ready to do all of that this fall.
So basically on your Instagram and your Facebook and your platforms, you're showing some of your work, some of the things.
Yes.
Yes. So you guys
see all that.
If you're wanting to refer or, connect him with someone, go out and check out what he's doing. What's important is it's about the kids and them growing and them building confidence and knowing that they can be as great as they want to be. There's no limit to that. So I appreciate that. Demetrius, I thank you so much for being with Black Link Magazine. We will be supporting and following you. Stay in touch with us and just get the word out so that we can help these kids. Because if you give kids a lot of times I find that kids are bored, and when they're bored and they have idle time, they tend to get in trouble. But if we continue to have things that interest them, and music a lot of times interests the kids, they're interested in the music. And if you can incorporate that in with some kind of learning, I think you got a good thing going on here.
Thank you.
So anything you want to leave with the audience before we leave?
Say anything. I would just say what's important is we have to create things that are for us. things for our children, because if we don't, no one else will. And so when you find things that are good and great for our children, get behind it. Get behind it, promote it, attach somebody to it, tag your friends, check this out, say, hey world, check this out. Look what's going on over here. ACEs, check this out. Look what they got going on over here. How can we get them to be in the festivals that we're doing? How can we get them to be a part of this so that we can get out there and start to re-image our children, and so that other children can reimagine what they can be? Because if we don't show them, they don't know.
Right.
And if you think about it, they're only trying to be what they see and imagine what's being shown to them.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because even when you think children are not watching or not listening, they really are. They really are.
Oh, yes.
They really are listening.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you myself for considering me, for taking me into your consideration, and then just reaching out and making sure that we follow through. And I appreciate that. I'm honored. Thank you.
Yes. Well, you're very welcome, and we appreciate you being here. You guys, we're going to get out of here for now. In the meantime, remember, respect yourself, respect each other. God bless.